Politics, the cut and thrust of lively debate, a rhetorical battle of wits, a tenacious, principled struggle for power, an ideological war for the mandate to decide the future direction of the country. Exciting, eh? Well, no, it's actually incredibly boring.
Politics? What's politics? Who cares?
Over the years, the world of politics has become increasingly detached from the world of people. Journalists, hungry for headlines, harass men in grey suits to make pronouncements on areas of policy, and when they respond, it's in a language which resembles our own, but actually says very, very little. You might think it sounded like an answer, but it wasn't. It probably consisted of words, most of which are familiar enough and could even qualify as a functioning sentence, but it'll be strung together in a way that makes the statement itself completely redundant. Such is the fear of alienating some focus group defined section of the electorate, a politician will say things which sound broadly positive, but always seem to stop short of actually answering the bloody question.
I shouldn't have allowed their papers to be in that bin.
The rise of the inscrutable, polished career politician peddling this slippery spin lingo has led to something of a stagnation in British politics. It's become really, really insipidly, ball-crushingly fucking dull. But of course, we knew that already. Even the most politically disinclined could tell that instinctively. Even explaining this is dull.
Are used for another corporation tax cut and hope wealth will somehow trickle down.
Is it any wonder that politicians need to drug themselves to keep from nodding off during their own political gatherings? The Labour Party even managed to minimise dissent at their attempts to match Tory spending cuts by supplying union leaders with pills they were told were ease, but were actually horse tranquilisers.
Read the small print. I want to be George Osborne.
David Cameron had some typically public school ways of conjuring up enthusiasm for his early speeches.
So what are your plans for today, Prime Minister?
I'll be getting off my box with Boris.
So you left without giving your speech. What was wrong?
Lots of stuff. You bump into real people.
And what are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'll be getting up normal time. That's what Conservatives do.
Amazing.
The Lib Dems were in a buoyant mood at their conference until Nick Clegg stepped up on stage.
Please welcome our leader and Deputy Prime Minister, Nick Clegg.
George Osborne even took LSD before his 2014 budget speech, delivering it inexplicably from a disused quarry in Nuneaton. But since it was mostly rambling fiscal gibberish and only a few minutes were captured by a passing truck driver, nobody really noticed.
We have a choice we should make, a choice this party of progress always makes. And be in no doubt which side this party is on. We choose the past or the future. That is the choice. Let's choose our choice. Choices, 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 choices. Let us choose today. Decide or decline. That is the choice. For when we choose the choice that we choose, we are choosing the real choices. And that is the choice that we chose. It is us, the Conservative Party, who understands choices. We choose the choice Britain needs to choose. That is the choice. So let's make another choice. Let's abolish failing to choose difficult choices. That is progress.
Desperate to show they could match the Conservatives, Ed Balls rushed out to deliver his speech in a quarry too, but nobody could hear him as he was drowned out by some diggers.
The difficult decisions.
A few years in office and dough-faced Bollinger Vortex David Cameron doesn't even wait till he's out of public view before prepping up his next beakful of brain sherbet. Here he is, the cocky, gack-taking twat, not even listening to the questions.
Chris Ship from ITV.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Chris Ship, ITV News. You're telling each and every one of the business leaders in this room that they need to spend some of their hard-earned resources and give their staff a pay rise, and yet you continue to act like Scrooge to Bob Cratchit, if I may say so. For the one area you do have control over pay rises, and that's the public sector. Many nurses, many police officers...
Look, I think there's something I really need to do. I wish you the very best of luck with your conference. Thank you very much.
Prime Minister.
It's another world, of course. They don't even know their dosages. But despite all this, the majority of these stuffed suits somehow still manage to come across as about as exciting as a lecture on nothing delivered by a charisma bypass on generic default factory settings. All this micromanaged mundanity has paved the way for the rise of the character. In normal circles, describing someone as a character is just a polite way of saying they're an overbearing, boorish twat. But in the political arena, this can be extended to anyone who fails to remember a spin doctor's instructions, or appears to be able to dress themselves. Actually, no. Look at this twat.
Hello.
I think his nanny dresses him. Okay, he'll do. Of course, even in the political arena, this doesn't rule out your average, simple, overbearing, boorish twat. Nigel Farage is rarely seen without a pint in his hand, so convinced is he that it will make him look like a man of the people, or as man of the people as it's possible for a privately educated, white, middle-class, ex-Tory, ex-stockbroker millionaire in mustard trousers and a hunting jacket to look. He was visibly agitated when he tried to give a speech without his frothy prop, admitting later it left him feeling a bit foreign.
How can it be right that people can come into Britain? How can that make sense, and how can that be fair? No, no, no. I mean, just think of it. Well, it's a total abomination, and we will not have that. I don't want to hear any more, but never mind. We are the voice of Little England. UKIP is dedicated to being insular, frankly, because we're mad. But I have to say there is an even darker side. I'm often asked, well, who is the typical UKIP voter? Define the UKIP voter. Well, I have to say, we've got some people with rather overactive Facebook accounts. You know the sort of people. Former BNP members, but I mean, that's not uncommon. And frankly, I need a lot of strong beer, so I ask for that, please.
It really seems like people are so fed up of all the grey-suited, Teflon policy cattle that even a bunch of rabid, frothing wingnuts willing to hurl their uncommon sense wisdom at any nearby TV camera seem like a breath of fresh air these days. Well, they might be if they didn't act like a collection of brain injuries who tumbled off the right wing of the Tory party when a racist dance got out of hand. But all this does make for comparatively exciting telly, doesn't it? And consequently, UKIP have been bounced from obscurity to regular mainstream commentators simply because they're hardly off the screens. Barely a week goes by without some UKIPper blurting out a sexist or racist or stupidist slur, which of course gets lots of coverage, but none of it ever seems to damage their poll ratings. Perhaps people have become so bored with politics they've started treating it like a reality show. Let's vote some loudmouth gibbering bigot into the political arena. At least it'll make the news a bit more entertaining. Or maybe people just stumble blindly into the voting booth and put an X next to the only name they can remember. The name that's pummeled into their brains relentlessly every day for the past 10 years. UKIP. UKIP. Fucking UKIP. Well, there we have it. 50 shades of faceless drones, bungling clowns and pantomime villains. Is it any wonder nobody's arsed with it? Even previously popular figures don't seem to be cutting the mustard anymore. Perpetually baffled human flannel Boris Johnson's carefully choreographed waffling aristocratic shtick usually storms it at the Tory conference. Change days indeed.
We Conservatives believe that the poorest families should work unpaid, 24/7. And that's why I'm so proud of what we have done, whatever it is. But the chances are that that is the best means we have yet found for satisfying the wants of billionaires. My friends, I see an amazing future that flows right past my house. English, British, it's good, British. I was just looking under the awning of a bus stop. And tried to find, some oligarchs from the planet Zog, writhing on their Barclays hire bikes. And camel clippers. I've seen a tie factory in Darwin. I kid you not, I've been around a bit. And asteroids, where did asteroids come from? They didn't come from outer space. I just want to check one thing. I just want to check, is everybody here? Are we all here, by and large, culturally, politically, economically divorced from reality? Good. I could go on and on, sprouting padded cushions, but I won't, because the Canadian tundra is irrelevant. Just eat the kippers. Now, let me ski to Mongolia with no stomach, and with the chattering classes randomly hammering vacuum cleaners to power a modern Babylon. They're balls. Now, they're municipal baggage handlers, water cannon, the last limo, a thundering tapioca hangovers, and I couldn't fancy that. Toenail. It's kind of, what's the best way to inflate side of a bullet? Good. Now, I think I'm right in saying we are on the verge of the vast and intricately connected locomotive that is more music.
Let's face it, We're not going to have any research into the side of the future. I believe it is perfectly possible to access the 19th century and ask it to choose the future, not the past.
In our first budget, we will scrap 5 out of 6 decisions.
I have £100 billion in my big golden house, and that is why I am the Chancellor. And my brilliant plan is completely and totally forgotten. Hang on. Yes, I remembered. It's smallpox. That's at the heart of what we are. The latest Treasury estimate is that to eliminate the deficit requires a further £25 billion of permanent payday loans. We will go on restraining people on low and middle incomes. And there will have to be less young people too.
For 200 years, our party, the Conservative Party, has been a party that believes in punishing humanity. That is the Conservative approach.
We will insist that all the proceeds from the sale of our stakes in Lloyds and RBS are used for a frivolous pre-election giveaway.
I believe that Ian Duncan Smith is not just some hapless mistake, and he says the vulnerable and people with disabilities will have to be frozen for 2 years to secure our financial system.
Our own politics, frankly, has become a charade. You might have noticed, we're actually racist. We are sick to death as British people.
By the way, it's okay if our business connections pay little or no tax. They were too busy. And my message to these companies is clear. You are welcome with open arms.
We believe in encouraging inequality.
Big businesses and banks are going to dominate.
Now cannot be the time to crack down hard on tax avoidance and loopholes.
I'm sure you all want to end the nonsense that allows social justice.
I see all colours, and I'm full of wonder. But I'm also getting dangerously high. So it can be exciting, yes, but unsettling too.
I sought the advice of the Murdochs and B-Sky B. Things changed, and then I was totally different. And after careful consideration, I followed that advice. The public needs to hear is what the Murdochs think. Now is not the time for scrupulous objectivity.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I want to end policies that protect the vulnerable and the needy.
Our long-term economic plan is working. What? Did you see that? Nigel coat. Please make it stop.
decided how I'm voting.
Difficult decisions. We are all in this together.